green. Go over here and check this. Oh yeah, we're live. 3 seconds in. Let's let the stream status get up a little bit better.
Muted mine just in time.
Yeah. Let's let the stream status get up a little bit better.
Addy Tooney's in chat. Chris Bandle's in chat. Look at that.
Wrong one there. Go here. I was wondering why I kept hearing it through my headphones and I never muted mine. I kept hearing myself talk. And I was like, oh, something's up.
Hello, swags.
Hello. Oh, let me get back over here to this. And here we go. Here we are, people. Welcome to Weekday Wisdom. Thank you all for tuning in. This is something that Jay and I have talked about a few times, wanting to branch out. That way we can get more information out to you guys, and we can give you more ammunition to go against these antis. And so that way we can spread more of the love, and we can foster the love with everybody for this. And it makes such an impact for us to be here. And thank you, Jay, for inviting me on the Weekend Wisdom, and then helping me come up with this. It's just great. So we'll start out with our buffets, and we'll get that rolling and see where we can go.
Oh, I get to go first now?
Yeah, man.
Nice. So I got the gold M Turk on my Dreamer LE. Just felt like mixing it up a little bit with a gold button. And inside that, I got corn drops from the Breakfast Club. And next, I'm stacking and packing. Got the Purge with the Apocalypse. And inside that, I got this Drip Wick, and it's the Butter Pecan Caramel. And then I got my Dreamer stack with the Bonza 1.5 on top. Both my stacks, I got Macy Bandit Builds coils, so definitely check out her coils. I got this icing on the flakes. It's Frosted Flakes flavored, and it's really good. And then next, I got the Mutant on top of the Pulse Dual with some Psycho Kitty in there from Puff Labs.
Nice.
And that's all I got. I got to pause this from somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
All right, I've got my classic here. White Dreamer, Black Axial in there. The Sad Boy Shamrock Cookie. I got I actually have something different. I've got this Dead Goat, Mr. Just Right. But in there, I have some Wicked Berry from Paradigm. I had that little bitty bottle, and I blew through that 10 mil in like a day, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to buy some. So still got my Unity on the Shogun, and still I got very little of this Cloud Nerd Strawberry Lemonade, but I wanted to go ahead and finish that off. Where is my? Oh yeah, I have these two that are just kind of sitting on my desk. The Nord and the intake. Both of those have the Bubs from IVC. And I got my other bottle of Parade Maker in yesterday. But I'm just waiting until I run out of this strawberry lemon to re-wick my profile and load it back up. And then, of course, I've got my Caliburn in there. Still got the only salt nick I can't get rid of is this Solus Mint. Can't find anything that's as good as that. So that's all we got for buffets, guys. So let's get into this advocacy. So I found some stuff last night, just kind of sitting here playing around. Let me get to it, and I will post the link. Where'd it go? Right here. I bought a wireless keyboard, and I keep forgetting that it's down here, so I keep trying to go up here to my laptop. Where did my chat go? Sorry, guys, I'm new at this. All right, there we go. So, found this last night. It's the petition that's out there to overrule the federal decision to push PMTA submission for the e-cigarette community. Uh, I think this is a great idea. Don't know how far we'll get with this. Uh, it showed on there that they had like 2,600 signatures last night, and I pulled it up just a little while ago to get the link, of course, and now it's up to 4,358. So overnight, they've almost doubled the signature count. Awesome news. Awesome news. And all this is a petition to the White House that will just kind of bring some awareness to White House staff and ultimately the president. If it gets that far, we don't know, but hopefully it will. It says it needs 100,000 signatures, and it was only created July 13th. So 3 days in, you're closing on 5,000 signatures. Big, big, big. We all have to get in here, and we all have to do this. Please share this link everywhere you go, everything you do, every vapor. Let them know. It takes 10 seconds to come in here and do this stuff. Uh, so please do that. So, and I know that you went in there and looked at it too.
Yeah, make sure all y'all. One thing that I just thought of that I haven't done is I know we are all probably in a lot of discords or Facebook groups and whatnot, maybe even some other social media groups. Go ahead and ask your admins or whoever else or whoever's the person you would ask if you could post on there. Go ahead and ask them if you could post that link, because this is not going to directly affect just the people watching this show. Like Shane said, we need to post it everywhere. So that's somewhere where we can easily get, like the Stew Crew, 1,000 people right there. You go to High End Vape Forum, or you go to Wicks and Coils, or you go to all the different discords and all those different chats. You can easily do that, even if it's like just a buy sell trade uh, Facebook group. You can go on there and you can. There's people who go on there all the time just to look at something. They can always just look at that link and click on it and go ahead and sign it. It's super simple, super easy. I hope everyone does it, because I mean it's really easy. Everyone needs to definitely do it.
Yeah, please do. I mean, I know everybody's busy, and I fully understand it. I'm a very busy person. I know Jay's busy. We both work a regular 9 to 5. We both have significant others. Jay's not married yet, so I can't say wife, but one day Angel will make him an honest man. Uh, she'll wear him down eventually. So, I'm married and I have kids, so it's one of those things where we try to balance our lives, and still make time to do this. Not for us, we don't do this for recognition, you know, subscriber counts, views. None of that means absolutely nothing to me. What means the world to me is being able to come on here, kind of an open forum, to spread this word to you guys, to let you guys know, hey, this is going on, this is going on. Jay and I both spoke with Danielle Jones today about what else can we do in our areas. How can we be more involved? And it's really just Facebook groups and news and things like that, kind of the stuff we're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we are. But go ahead.
That's one thing I need to kind of get more into, is the Facebook groups, because I kind of neglect Facebook a lot, and I know that's somewhere where you can also it's a cross between Twitter and Instagram, I guess you could say, but it's somewhere where you can get a lot of good information as well and put a lot of good information out there as well. So I mean, definitely, like I said, go to the Facebook group, do that. Like I know I'm not too sure if every state has it. I know Texas for sure. There is a Texas State CASA Facebook group. So I know it's not like an actual charter where they have a place where they all meet and everything, but it's just a Facebook group where they have stuff. And I even asked them if I could post stuff in there before, and they've approved it and everything. So stuff like that. I mean, you might not have it, but just search it. because I know there's a couple questions you got to answer before you get into them, just like a lot of the other groups. So make sure you do answer the questions if you do want to be a part of stuff like that. Like I think mine was, what's your age? What? Why would you want to go into this group and stuff like that? So I mean, super simple answers, and it's just really easy to get into them. So and then like I said, they also have a lot of information. So I mean, like calls to action, you might be able to see. You might be on social media more than you are looking on Kasa or on your email or anything. So that might be something where you can see that a whole lot quicker.
Right.
Just a thing I throw out there for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely use every platform you can. I finally got my Twitter up and running last night. Been kind of slow at it, and I apologize. Just kind of had a lot going on around the house. So finally, but everything in my house is fixed, and I have air conditioning in my car, so I'm okay.
For now.
Yeah, for now. I told my wife, I said, next thing that breaks, I'm just burning the damn house down. I'm not fooling with it anymore. I will collect the insurance and I will move to somewhere else. Uh, no, I'm just kidding. I don't, well, maybe I am. But yeah, the big thing is just actually getting out there and doing the small things like this. I mean, going in there, entering your email and your name. Let me see. First name, last name, email address. Bam. Sign now. And you're finished. Well, I take that back. You do have to confirm your email. So
Yeah,
it's,
and if you've already done it for like I think I did it for Hawaii on I think that same website. I think
yeah.
can't remember. I think I already did it on that website, but I did it for them, so I didn't even have to confirm my email. But I went, I did. I have two emails, so I did it for my second email, and I had to confirm that one. So if
Oh,
you've
there you
already
go.
done it for one state, you won't even have to. But definitely pay attention to what you're doing. I know it takes 2 seconds to do it, but make sure you pay attention so that way you actually go check your email and you actually do it with a purpose instead of just doing it and not really making or not really actually doing anything because you didn't confirm your email.
Yeah,
Oh, and one other
exactly.
thing that I was also going to add is we can, I mean, everyone at work, I'm pretty sure that you have a computer somewhere at your work or you might have a computer at your house with a printer. Make a flyer of this. Like, say if you make an Instagram post of the front page of that where it says "We the People" and you can sign in and everything, and then it says "Overrule the federal decision." All that right there. Take a screenshot of it, make a little flyer of it, and have the link underneath of it, and take it to your local vape shop and just print out like 10 of them. Say, hey, can I put these somewhere so that way people can sign them?
Yeah.
So I mean that right there. Think about it. If you go to a busy vape shop where you get maybe 200 customers to like 100 customers a day, or even a slow one where you only get like 10 to 20, that's still 10 to 20 signatures that can help us out to where they can also spread that news too. So like
Exactly.
me and Shane always say, no matter where it is, if you can put it anywhere, put it. Like if I could make a big billboard of it, I would. But I mean, I don't really have the money for that right now. And I mean, there's ways you can get it out there without having to do stuff like that. So definitely make sure we take advantage of anything possible that we can put it on.
Right. And I've said this probably 10, 15 times before. It's not all about how much money you can donate. I know I've heard people talk before. I'm done with advocacy. I've put in X amount of dollars and I didn't see anything come of it. Well, it's not all about that. Yeah, that's always great if you can stroke a $50,000 check to CASA or, not blowing smoke or whomever. Safada is another good one. But it's not all about the money, and I wish people would understand that. And I think a lot of us do, but there's still going to be that one person out there that I donated all this money and I never got anything out of it, and I just can't agree with that. Uh, you know, it's tough to deal with. But is that all we got on that one? You want to say anything else?
No, not really. Just we need
Okay.
to make sure that we are fighting this because this is something that is not just city or state or anything like we might be getting into here in a minute, where we're talking about cities doing flavor bans and states doing sales tax and stuff like that. This is like a nationwide thing. So
Yeah. The
this is
dominoes
going,
the
yeah,
dominoes have started to fall.
yep.
So, and you know how they set up the dominoes. It may do this and it may go way over here and then come back this way. You never really know how it's going to go. So, but
Hmm.
Logan said earlier, he said that he started his channel so he can get uber famous and get all the vape models and fancy cars. And then, and then he said that he wanted to start the Vaping to Get Filthy Rich show.
There you go.
And 5% of the massive amount of money we make from the Vaping to Get Filthy Rich show will go to the billboard.
Hey, my whole $6 I've made from Spreadshirts going to the billboard right
Hey, there
now.
we go. We have
Uh
six
huh.
dollars towards the billboard.
And one thing I want to do with my Spreadshirt, I don't know if I'm just throwing this in there right now, is after I have enough money to buy me like a hoodie, because I've already bought a shirt, I've already had people buy shirts. After I have enough money to buy a hoodie, I'm donating every bit that I get from. Doesn't matter if it's Spreadshirt or Teesprings or whatever it is that I eventually move on to or whatever. All that's going to advocacy. So I mean, that's just something I'm gonna do. And like we always say, it's not about the money. Like even if it's just $1 or could be $2,000, I'm gonna stick by my word. I'm gonna do that just because it's something that I want to do. And honestly, I've only donated maybe $20 total to like advocacy things, advocacy organizations. And I mean, like Shane said, it's not about the money. It's about like kind of what we talked about on the weekend wisdom. It's about having that passion. If you're actually checking up on your advocacy places and all your organizations, and you're actually doing something for them to help them, like what me and Shane tried to do, we're like, hey, well, what is there we could do? What can we do to help out? Yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just lead you in the right direction. They'll say, hey, you're already doing it. Just keep doing it. You're doing a good job. Okay, well
Right.
that's good. But we want to try to take it more and more and more because this is like especially around this time right now where we're having stuff that's going nationwide, and then you're looking at maybe nationwide flavor bans later on down the road because I mean, like Shane said, the dominoes are already falling. You see one city in California, the next city, then oh hey, let's go over to Massachusetts. Okay, hey, now let's go over to one other state. After you get about 10 states to start having just a hearing for it, you're eventually going to hear about, hey, well there's a nationwide one happening pretty soon.
Right.
And like we all know, you never know when they're actually going to do it. Because I actually, right before this, before we get to the next topic, I was looking up to see if there's any laws on is there any law for um, a city council or a statewide meeting? Is there any law that you have to notify the people within a certain amount of days? And I mean, I only looked for 10 minutes, but I mean, I didn't really find nothing much, but I'm going to keep looking into it. And pretty much all I got was it's pretty much state to state. So I'm going to look into Texas and I'm going to start looking into other states. But I mean, that's something that we all kind of need to look into because say if it's over there, say if Texas is, oh, well, you need to have a 2 weeks in advance notice in the mail. So it needs to be at your house 2 weeks before it, not sent out 2 weeks before, but at your house in two weeks before, and you're only getting it a day before. That's something that you need to bring up to your legislators and to your governor and mayors and everything because that's something that's going against the law and that's going against your rights as a person who lives in that state
Right.
and a citizen of the United States. I mean, they're going against the law. So, I mean, that's something I'm still going to look into. I'm not going to make any assumptions or anything, but everyone should definitely look into that because I mean you see it from time to time. Hey, well, hey, there was a hearing on. There's another hearing, but they're putting it on Wednesday, and they just told us on Tuesday night. Well, yeah, well, they're trying to sneak it in, but is there a law on that to where say like what New York did? Okay, yeah, you could probably fight that back by saying, hey, well, y'all are going against the law because y'all didn't give us enough time to prepare for this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that you could look at on all of this, and it all ties in together.
Yeah. And just check with your, local municipal. Go in there and ask them. For anything that's, don't you don't even have to make it vape related. For anything that's coming before the city council that's going to affect businesses, how much of a notice are we required to have prior to this coming before the council? Uh, should be a pretty simple question for even the receptionist to answer. In my opinion, I can't say that for sure. Some receptionists are significantly better than others. We'll just put it that way. So, but transition here into what Jay was talking about earlier. There is another flavor ban that's being talked about, and this one is in Ventura, California. So we're still staying in California, but it's working its way around, which we all knew it was going to.
Yep. And that one, California right now, city to city. But then you look at Massachusetts where they're doing a whole statewide. So say maybe the next two are city to city in California, and say both of those win or say both of those lose.
Yep.
What do you think their next thing is going to be? Oh, well, screw this. We're not going to do city to city anymore. We're just going to do a statewide one. And
Yeah.
think about how big California is and how big their industrial parks are and how much e-juice comes out of there and how much companies have left California because of that. Like I noticed on my packages a lot was I had a lot more stuff coming from Vegas instead of California and Florida now. And they
Hmm.
used to be California, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Remember, okay, this is coming from California, should take this many days. Now it's coming from Florida and Vegas. So, I
Hmm.
mean, that's something to also look at. Think about how much money that company's having to spend to move. And that's something that we all don't think about. Where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, whatever, we're getting our juice still. But think about it. Think about how much more of a struggle they're going through just because they had to also move.
Yeah.
And whenever they have to move, that's a lot right there. That just my opinion. That's a lot of money right there because then they got to find a new building. They gotta, if they're still in a lease with their building now, they gotta break that lease or they gotta pay it out, and then they gotta go find another building, move all this stuff over there. And if
Hmm.
they mix their juices, and I mean, I don't know what the law is on that, but I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to just like close a container and leave. Pretty sure you have to have a lot of different things to be able to move something to
Yeah.
transport.
They have to
So
have clean rooms and all that stuff. And if anybody doesn't know, there's videos on YouTube about vape company labs. I know Vape Wild. They don't have great liquid, but they do have a nice lab. Richard, Twisted 420, he took a tour of their lab, and I watched it just because I'm a nerd. I like that kind of stuff, science and junk. But I mean,
mhm.
it was really neat because they have clean rooms and this super sophisticated and expensive equipment. And you got to think, if you're moving all that equipment, you're going to have some kind of certification to have it set back up. Coming from I used to work in the medical field, and we had an in-house pharmacy. Well, we moved from one building to a bigger building, and we had to have all these certifications come in. Uh, for people, yeah, for the compounding machines, they had to have all these overhead uh, ducts and stuff, kind of like in a kitchen. They had these big hoods where they had to remove the air as they were working in it. But I mean, it was crazy. You had to clean your feet and wear booties when you went in there. So,
Yeah, and think about how much stuff they're gonna have to get resealed, and if they don't get it resealed, they're just gonna have to pretty much throw it away and buy a new
hmm
amount. So, say if you barely opened a, let's say they had a big silo of 100 gallons or something, or 55 gallons drum of PG and VG, and they just barely opened it.
hmm
I mean, even to them, I mean, it's not a whole lot of money when you think about it because of how much they're getting it for, but that's still money that they're losing. And then, especially when they're having to move and the adds onto it, that just makes it a lot worse.
yeah,
And Clown Vapes is in the chat, so I want to shout out our sponsor,
heck
Clown
yeah.
Vapes, code Wisdom for weekday or weekend wisdom to get 10% off on any Clown coils or some Mr. J's Vape Supplies some rectum balls. They're pretty good. It's pretty good.
We'll give Clown a wrench too so he can post his links. So, in this article about this flavor ban,
Mhm.
it's not a favor ban. So they're talking about one of these. Let's see, where was it? The mayor of Ventura is Matt Lavere, Lavere. We may want to try to find him on Twitter and kind of educate him a little bit. After if you guys read this, in my opinion, there's a lot of uneducated remarks that are made. And I know it's probably just based on the information that this guy was given. and it doesn't seem like he kind of did his own research. So I don't really know for sure, but that's just kind of the way it seems. So what in their ban they're talking about flavors, sales, online sales, and equipment. So pretty much kind of the same thing that San Francisco did,
Mm-hmm.
but from what I read at the beginning, any vape or tobacco shop that is within 1,000 feet of a school has to move immediately.
Geez, so now they're treating it pretty much like a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
I know in Texas that's a law. You can't have it within a certain amount from a church or a school.
Right. And
Dang.
here's another kicker to it. It says right here the staff will put together recommendations for establishing an annual retail licensing fee in an amount sufficient to provide necessary funds to enforce the new ordinance, putting penalties in places for shops that sell to minors. So in other words, they're going to make you move and either close down your vape shop or part of your vape shop if you do vape and tobacco, and then fine you if you don't move. And then you're paying the fine plus you're paying more on your retail licensing fee or your business license. I don't know why they just didn't word it that way, because your annual retail licensing fee, that's pretty much your business license. So now your business license is going to go up, and that's not just for vape shops, that's for everybody.
Yep.
So everybody's business license is going to go up simply because of this. So this is going to
Pretty much
affect.
like when you have an accident and it's not your fault, but
Yep.
yet your insurance is gonna go up. It's pretty much the same thing, but kind of tying together.
Yeah. Well, that's like here. I think it was 2008, 2009. There was a huge hailstorm that came through, and a lot of people had to get new roofs. Well, at that point in time, we didn't have to get a new roof, but our insurance went up because they had to pay for so many people's roofs. So, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of that way, but, there's a lot of other things. It says there's 117 tobacco retail license holders in Ventura, and 3 in 10 are located within 1,000 feet of a public school. And here's where it kind of gets into the uneducated part. Uh, this is the mayor, Lever, speaking. It says there has been a sharp increase in recent years of youth using electronic cigarettes or related devices. By offering sweet and fruity flavors, companies are, and this is in quotes, going directly after our youth. He said many students were under the impression the products were safe.
And the thing is like, well, do they think alcohol is safe and cigarillos and
Yeah,
everything just there's flavoring? I mean, there's even flavored cigarettes. Do they think chewing tobacco is safe for you when there's a huge warning on pretty much everything when it comes to tobacco or um, vaping products? Actually, this one does not have one. This is one of their new bottles. That's crazy.
oh
Oh, I guess it's real. Dang, that's super small. It's the middle paragraph. That's
wow.
crazy.
I thought it was supposed to be 20% of the label.
Yeah, that's one of their new ones. But like, look at this one.
Yeah,
Look at this one.
it's all
It's
over.
And then on tobacco products, like I used to dip like at least a third or a quarter of the bottom part of the can said
Yeah,
warning product. You'd get cans that say warning this product is addictive, warning this product causes cancer, or warning this product is not a good alternative to smoking tobacco.
right.
I mean, it's I mean, I know they want to sit there and they want to think about the kids and they want to say this and that. Oh, well, it's about the kids. Well, how dumb do they think the kids are? If they think their kids are that, if they think the kids are that stupid and dumb, then they need to be looking at maybe doing something instead to the tobacco and the vaping industries. They need to do something with their education system because if they can't trust a kid to be able to read it and know, okay, yeah, this is bad for me, and of course kids are gonna lie about that shit. You think about it, like whenever I was young, I didn't know that was gonna do this to me. And in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I hope my mom does not beat my butt right now. But like, of course, a kid's gonna lie about it. like on half of these studies where they've done how many kids have vaped. I guarantee you, half the kids that did vape didn't even put anything on there because they're like, "Oh crap! Well, I mean, what if they report this to the police and it comes back?" I mean, there's no real way to get good studies or anything like that. I mean, yeah, there's good ways to get studies, but there's not a real good way on asking teenagers and kids that lie a lot. 'Cause, I mean, think about it. I mean, we were all teenagers before.
Right.
How many times you lie to your parents whenever you were stoned or whenever you were drunk? I'm not. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. It's bad. I got bad allergies. It's allergy
Yeah.
season. Talking
Yeah.
about. Or you come home drunk and then you're just
Yeah.
like, oh no, I'm not drunk. Yeah.
You're
I
just
mean,
swaying back and forth. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just
I
hyper.
just got a song stuck in my head. That's all it is, mom
Yeah.
or dad. But I mean, it's how stupid they think these kids are. If they think they're really that dumb to where they know that it didn't have nicotine or anything like that in it, and even if they are vaping on something that does not have nicotine in it, they shouldn't be able to buy the product in the first place.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter if it's nicotine or not. There's still the product that they buy. The mod should still be 18 to 21 or 18 to 21 years of age, wherever your state 21 tobacco and all this other stuff is when it's about to be nationwide, I believe. But I mean,
Well,
it's just dumb how they think that, and they go after the education system and push them to make these kids actually learn something or be able to read. I don't know what it is.
no, and here, let me finish this because I got a good thought on that. It was LaFur, and there was a council member, Cheryl Heitman, that introduced the policy consideration on Monday night. Excuse me. And the only thing it said that Heitman said that many of the products look like lipstick and other benign things. We want to protect our youth, and this is one of the ways we can do it. Well, I understand that your city, state, and country wants to protect your youth. Here's my opinion, and it may get a little ranty, so heads up. I talked about this on What's Your Wisdom. The last time I did this, I think it was on a Saturday night when you were in Houston. Parents, be a parent to your children. Okay? That's how I don't want the government protecting my children. I protect my own kids. If my kids need protection, I will protect them. I will let them know what's good and what's not. Okay?
Yep.
You have these, and pardon me, but there's a lot of shitty parents who don't care. You know, I pay my child support, everything's good. Or I put a roof over your head and food in your mouth, you're all right. You'll figure it out. Hell no. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a helicopter parent. Please don't. I had a helicopter parent growing up, so I understand. Uh, it was mainly just me and my dad growing up, so he was very overprotective. So I understand living through that. You may not want to be a helicopter parent, but there's some things you got to pay attention to.
Yep.
Don't be your kid's friend. You don't need to be their friend. That's for when you're older, not now, not when they're teenagers. You know, you have to be a parent. You can't. It's just so simple in my mind, and I know a lot of people don't understand it. My kids still get a whipping if they do something wrong. You can call DHR, whatever you want to call it in your area. There's many different things. If, my youngest one is 7. If he does something wrong, he gets his butt whooped. You know, I don't believe in the timeout crap because it doesn't do any good. Go stand in the corner. How is that a punishment? It's not, in my opinion. Uh, I don't beat my kids. Don't take it like that. But I will whip my kids if it's necessary. If it's deemed, hey, sorry, you're going to get a whooping. You lied to me or you did something that's past that bar. Uh, but the biggest thing about that, it's not about whippings and all that other stuff. It's being a parent. It's teaching your children This is right. This is wrong. This is the age you have to be to do this. You know, this is the age you have to be to do this. If I catch you with it, it's going to be hell to pay. You know, be a parent. You know, my dad and I now, I'm 42, my dad's 65. You know, we're the best of friends. When I was 17, I tell you what, we could have killed each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he was angry at me, I was angry at him, and we just stayed that way. And, hey, I'm fine. I turned out good. And I wasn't necessarily a helicopter parent with my kids, but I knew everything that was going on, everywhere they went, everywhere they stayed, how long they were staying there, and when they were coming back. That's being a parent. That's not being overprotective. That's being a parent. And if they do something wrong, call them out on it, correct the issue, and make sure they understand that this doesn't happen again.
Yep. I mean, it's not even that hard. Like you said, you know where they're at and you know how long they're going to be there. Like if they're at a friend's house staying the night, you know what house. You probably know the parents. You know how
Exactly.
many days they're staying the night. And think about it. Parents can't even do that nowadays. And what it takes a 2 second, or not 2 seconds, probably like a 1 minute phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I'm at Jimmy's house. Okay, well, how many days are you staying there? Well, I was thinking I was gonna stay Friday night and Saturday. You can come pick me up Saturday during the day or Sunday. I mean, it's super simple and easy. And one thing that I thought about whenever Shane was talking, if someone's holding a knife or a gun up to your kid's head, are you gonna call the government? Hey, well, I mean, you might call the cops. I mean, I probably would too, but would you call someone and would you call the president? Hey, Mr. President, Mr. Trump, can you come over here? There's a guy I don't know and he's holding a knife to my kid's throat. No, you're gonna do something about it. Yeah, you might call the cops and stuff, but you're gonna do something about it and you're gonna talk the person through it, or you're gonna act upon it. You're not gonna sit there and just say, well, looks like I gotta wait till SWAT gets here. I gotta wait till this happens. No, you're gonna be the first person there because that's your kid and you care about them. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing for everything else. If you care about your kid's health and you want your kid to live past the time where you pass away, don't go out there and buy him packs of cigarettes. I had a buddy whose mom used to always do that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, me, I had a helicopter parent too. The lights came on, the street light came on, my butt better be home. And
Yep.
my buddy still to this day aggravate me with that. Jay, the street lights are on. You need to come home. They always mess with me, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's funny, but I mean, it's something I grew up with, and I was fine with it until I got to a little bit older. Then I started getting annoyed with it, but then it progressed on and everything. But it's. I'm not saying be a helicopter parent, just like Shane said, but it's know what your kids are doing. It's all you. It's simple. Technology is so simple these days. You can look and to see where your kids are just by sharing your. You can share your location on pretty much any social media nowadays.
Yep.
Snapchat's a big one. You can share your you can share your location and you can know exactly where your kids are at any time. You could do it on Google Maps. You could do it probably on iPhone map or whatever
Yeah.
maps they use. I know their maps suck, but
Verizon
whatever
has it.
maps they use.
You know, if you're the
Yeah.
administrator of your Verizon account, you can see where every phone on your account is. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
apps out there that do it. We use Life 360, and all of our kids are on there. So you know, if they say, "Hey, I'm going to so and so's house," and you know, we pull them up on the map, and they're across town over here, not at so and so's house, hell to pay. You know, where are
Yep.
you?
All it takes is a phone call to ask them, "What are you doing over there?"
Yeah, why are you not where you told me you were going to be? Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, to me, that's being a parent. You want to look out for the best interest of your kids, but you shouldn't depend on somebody else to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to handle that on your own. If you find them with a cigarette, a jewel, any kind of vaping device, same way you know, if you find a 16-year-old with a bottle of vodka in their room, it's the same exact thing across the board. It should be. A lot of people, it isn't, and it should be. And that gets me a little ranty, and I try not to rant, but there's certain things out there that really I'm really passionate about, I guess you could say. And that's one of them, because I fully believe in being a parent to my child, and I don't want anybody else taking that away from me.
Hmm.
I know that there's laws and stuff that are in place to help, okay, but it should fall on the parents first. We shouldn't be punished for shitty parents not doing their job. And I feel like this is kind of what it is. They're punishing everybody else because these people aren't doing their job as parents. They think maybe just throwing money at them and giving them cars and all this other stuff just doesn't work. I'll go ahead and tell you it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I mean, it's you can also tie this into advocacy. It's don't have someone else parent your child. Don't have someone else advocate.
Yep.
Go out there and do it. Go out there and do it too. Don't just, oh well, Shane and Jay are doing it. I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
No, take it upon yourself, because there's so much information out there that we don't even get to. I mean, I'm not saying start a YouTube channel, start this or that, but everyone has an Instagram. I'm talking about like even 67-year-old people have Instagram.
Yeah.
Everyone has Facebook. Old people for sure have Facebook. If you're elderly, you definitely have a Facebook. Twitter, all those things. Use it. I mean, just a simple post. And like Shane, when he called out some of the bigger vape community people, yeah, they should use their platform too. And look at that. Look who started doing that. One of those guys. He started doing a little bit more advocacy. It might be one post a month. It might be one post a year. But hey, it's something.
Yep.
Especially when you have a huge platform. I'm not saying go out there and every day you need to post stuff like me and Shane. You need to make sure you're posting advocacy on your story, on your feeds, yada yada. You need to be on Twitter all the time. No, we're not saying that. Just do a little bit of research, 10 minutes a day, instead of sitting on your phone on Instagram swiping through or whatever your social media you're on. Just Google local vape laws or local vape hearings or anything. And okay, you might have a brand new article, or just go to Vaping Magazine or Vape News Magazine. Boom, you might find something right there that you can email to someone, or you can email to me and Shane. You can send it through a direct message to me and Shane. You can do whatever you want with it. You can start talking to all your coworkers about it.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that might not be able to find that you might be able to help spread the word on. Because I mean, honestly, and this is honestly, I don't care what's going on in Wisconsin right now. I'm worried about what's going on in Texas, and that's not me trying to sound shitty or anything, but it's just the way it is. I'm worried about what's going on in Texas. So if I'm sitting there and I'm just messing around, the first thing I'm gonna look up is what's going on in Texas, and then I'm gonna look up what's going on in the United States, and then what's going on around the world, because I want to see what's directly gonna affect me first, so that way I can tackle that head on. And then, okay, well, what's going on else in the United States? Oh, they're going to do a tobacco 21 all the way across. They're going to do a flavor ban all the way across the United States. Then I start worrying about stuff like that. But I mean, it's just look up your local stuff. That's all you have to do. Just look up local things. And once you start focusing on the local stuff, then you can start branching out. But I mean, it's not that hard. Like I know people, oh, well, I'm going to read 10 pages of a book a day. Set one little goal for you. I'm going to read one article a day, or I'm going to look up for an article a day, or look up for a new study or something, or even old studies. If you're just going to read old studies, it doesn't matter what it is. Just read something over vaping, because it might actually help you out, and it might help you be able to give the proper information to people. Like me, I try to give information to people at my work, and I know there's not a lot of people at my work who vape, but there's a lot of people out there who smoke cigarettes, and we're about to go to a smoke-free campus. So I'm trying to help them get onto vaping, or as people call it, e-cigarettes, e-cigs. I'm trying to get them on stuff like that because I want to see them live longer. And some of them I honestly do not give a crap about, because they just annoy me. But then I'm trying to still help people, and then I'm trying to push it on to people in the office, the higher ups. Hey, well, maybe you shouldn't ban vaping. It's you're promoting all these other NRTs, but this one's 2 times more effective to pretty much save your life and make you live a longer life. But yet there's more people out there who don't want to listen to it. So the more you study up on, the more facts you can have when you go into stuff like this. And like we always say, make sure you have your facts.
Yep.
Listen to what we say, but also go in and do your own studies. Go in and do your own information searching. I mean, Google is something that's huge. I know people use Bing, Yahoo, all these other things. To me, it's Google.
Yep.
You can damn near Google anything. You can pretty much YouTube too. You can pretty much YouTube anything. I used to work at a shop where we used to do tires and oil and all these other things. If someone brought in a car and we didn't know where something was or how to fix something on the car, first thing we did is boom, Google or YouTube.
Yep.
You can YouTube or Google anything. All you gotta do is do it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I didn't know vaping was on YouTube. You Google vaping. Oh my God, there's like millions of videos on vaping.
Yeah. And
Half of them are just the goat, but I mean, yeah.
I understand the people that use all the different search engines and whatever. But I like Google because when Google pops up, it says Google and there's a search bar. There's no articles or anything down there to get me distracted. My ADD is horrible, and I'll be like, "Oh, wait a minute! There, look at this." I'm going to look up something, and by the time I
I
finish
think
reading
that's why I
that,
like
I'm like,
Google so much too.
"Yeah." By the time I finish reading that, it's like, "Man, what was I going to look up?" And then I have to sit there for 10 minutes and try to remember. So, but we got about 15 minutes left. So, what I kind of wanted to do here was just go to the chat. Does anybody have any questions out there in the chat for us? It could be advocacy related, personal, anything you guys want to know about us. So, and we'll kind of open that up for a minute and see if anybody's out there. I don't know if anybody's left. I haven't looked at
Yeah,
the.
but one thing I also want to throw in is like Shane always says, and like I always say, stay on your toes, not your heels. Be ready for stuff because
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not your state that's about to have something happen, look at the nationwide stuff because I mean you see city to city that's eventually going to go to county, then where's it going to go from that state to state.
Yep.
Oh, a couple states have done it. Oh well, you know what, let's just sign a bill to where it's over, it's everyone, and there's not going to be that many states that are going to go against it. I guarantee you there's going to be maybe one or two if that, and that's just sad because you want your state to be able to fight for you and be able to make it to where you're healthier and everything. But that's something that we all need to make sure we're doing is looking into stuff and making sure that we're actually paying attention to it because it could be coming to you next and it might not just be coming to you, it might be coming to everyone in the state or everyone in the whole United States at one time.
Yeah. Give me just a second. I just heard something fall.
But anyways, like I was saying, is like it could come to you next. You never know. You just always got to be prepared for it. It's not that hard to prepare for it. It's have your letters written out. And if you're honestly not getting affected by it right now, it's super easy for you because you can go ahead and write your letters by just looking at what is happening to other states and other cities and everything. So that way you already have your letters ready. So that way once something like this does happen, boom, you can go ahead and you can throw your letter right at your mayor, your governor, your president, your the president of the FDA, all that. You can throw your letters at them super quick if it's not happening to you right now. It's like Shane, for example. Nothing's happening in Alabama right now, but there's stuff that could happen in Alabama. So we need to make sure we're all paying attention to that. We're all being ready for it because if we are ready for it, then it can be super easy, super simple, and super quick. And you can just send your letter, and you can be one of the first people to send your stuff, and that's gonna make it a whole lot easier.
Sorry
I
about
was
that.
just I was just talking about how if you're not getting directly affected right now, this is the time to where you can reflect on pretty much what's going on around you and around in other states and around the world,
Right.
United States, everything. And you can go ahead and start getting your letters ready because say if it's a citywide thing, boom, you already have your citywide letter ready because you're watching what's happening around the world because you're staying up to date on it. And then
Right.
okay, the first day you hear about it, okay, here's my letter. Go ahead. I'm gonna email it to you. I'm gonna send it to you through the mail, and I expect a response back. And then if not, I'm gonna keep sending it.
Yep.
And then boom, okay, a statewide thing. Okay, I know exactly who to send that to, and I've had my letter ready for a month. Let me go ahead and read over it. Okay, all this looks good. Let me maybe change one or two things, and boom, you send it off. You could be the first person to do it.
Yep.
I'm not saying make it sloppy and be first, but if there's nothing happening in your state, go for it. Get ready for it, and don't just get ready by just sitting there and googling stuff. Get ready by actually being an activist, like Shane always says. We need activism. I know Sean Typhon always says that too. It's time for us not to be advocates. It's time for us to be activists. If you're sitting back waiting for something to happen, it's going to hit you harder than what it is whenever you're ready for it. If you already have everything typed up and ready, you can
Mm-hmm.
send it straight off and you'll be perfectly fine.
Right. And pay attention to, two of the best people that I've learned a lot about advocacy and activism is NorCal Sick Boy, Chuck, and Stefan, how you say his last name? Deerdick? Deer
I think,
Didek?
yeah, I think it's Didac.
Yeah, Didac. Hearing him speak facts is amazing
Mm-hmm.
because he has all of that. And honestly, he hardly has any paper. He has all these facts up here and just can spit them at any point in time. He was actually on the Three Amigos not too long ago, which was a very, very good show.
Mm-hmm.
If any of you guys didn't get a chance to watch that, go back on Vape Malone's channel and tune in for that just to catch it because there was so much good information that he put out there, and it's all fact. He won't give you any BS. It's just here's the fact, here's the research, bam, do with it what you will, and
Yeah,
that's
one of
huge to
mine is
me.
Grim.
Yeah, Grim Green's another good one.
I want him to bring the five. I know he's going to do a different spin on the 510 report, but I'm ready for that. I'm ready for the 510 report to come back stronger than that. I know he's going through a lot of other stuff, but once it comes back, I know it's going to be back. And honestly, I mean, I don't even have to watch the video. I can just listen to it like a podcast.
Yeah,
And his just the way he comes through with everything is just super clear and makes so much sense. Love listening to the 510 report. So Grim Green, start the 510 report again as soon as possible. As soon as you get everything situated, start the 510 report because I can't wait to hear some more about it. Because I mean, he's someone who's super educated on it, that he
yeah,
knows what he's talking about. If there's something that's BS in there, he's going to call it out. He's not just going to read over it and be like, oh, okay, well, they're saying this, but they might mean it. No, he's going to, oh, no, they're saying this, but this is what they said last time. It's not the same. He's another great person. And
yeah,
honestly, you could just have a sit down talk with him if you're ever around him, and I'm pretty sure he'll talk to you about advocacy. I know he's super informative of it too. So I mean, he wants to spread the word, and that's
yeah.
something that's awesome.
And
So I mean, there's a lot of these good people out here that everyone needs to listen or kind of listen to. If you're not following them, follow them, subscribe to them, whatever it is. But just listen to what they have to say because a lot of them make a lot of sense and they have
hmm
a lot of passion for it.
and the thing I love about Chuck is he's so passionate and he's just so straightforward. You know, this is what it is. Okay. There's no sugarcoating, there's no nothing. It's just straightforward with it, and I can fully respect that because I'm the same way. I've said before the filter is not here between the brain and the mouth a lot of times, so I have to really pay attention. Sorry, I had to get up and leave. We have two cats, and they decided to chase each other, and one of them knocked over a broom into the wall and knocked something off. So I just heard a loud boom, and I was like, "What's that?" Because my wife's gone for the night, so the only other person here is the 16-year-old with his friends. So
Ah,
anytime I hear a loud boom, I'm like, what did y'all break? Your mama is going to kill me. So,
but yeah, like we always say is we're and that's one thing that I also want to bring up is we're not the only advocacy. I know a lot of people know that, but like you have live streams and people who pre-record stuff like Shane does and like I used to do. Is you have so many places where you can also get these information type things for vape advocacy and all other kind of advocacy platforms. You can get those on a lot of different channels. So I mean, like Grim Green, he does it in his vlog. Ruby Roo, they do it in their vlog for That's What She Said. I know that the Three Amigos is pretty much mainly advocacy, and then there's half it's advocacy, half it's them just shooting the shit and having fun. But I mean, me and Shane. We make this channel or we make these live streams just basically advocacy, so that way they don't go too long. And then, okay, well, let's have fun. Like, I know we've done that with sometimes when we have people on with us, is we kind of go off topic and we ask them a couple other questions. We have fun, and then those shows go to 2 hours. No one wants to watch something for 2 hours most times.
Yeah.
Hour, whenever we have it like an hour 20 minutes, hour 30 minutes, that's where we can keep your attention. And that's where we want to keep your attention. Even if you're just watching the replay, it's something that we want to do is because we're trying to get the information out there to y'all. And honestly, something I think would be really cool, every single time there was a new law or a new hearing for a law, if we could get the people who are actually having that hearing, like say if it was the mayor for like the one that we just talked about, something like that. If we could have them on, that'd be pretty cool. I
Yeah.
doubt it, but that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just to kind of hear what they have to say about it.
Yeah, and it would honestly be nice to get the other side of the coin. You
Yep.
know, we have our research and what we found, and I would love to be able to talk to someone and say, okay, what research do you have? Show me your proof, and I'll show you mine.
Yeah, because I mean, like we always say, it might be, oh, I don't have any proof. This is pretty much what someone's telling me to do. Or,
Right,
oh, well, I have this proof. Okay, well, we might be able to say, okay, that proof is wrong. It's done by such and such, and they've been falsely accused, and yada yada. Look at these information, or look at this study, and that's something that'd be really cool to do. But I highly doubt it because I don't want to say 100%, but I know most of the people who are doing these don't really have much information on it. They're pretty much just getting told by someone else to do it, so they're just
right,
kind of like, I'm going to go on a show and talk about it if I have no clue what I'm talking about.
right. And you know, you look at the San Diego, you know, that's a huge city, and they passed a flavor ban, a complete flavor ban. And, you know, I don't know. I think we mentioned this on the Weekend Wisdom that they're getting blowback from the cigar companies.
Yep.
Uh, so I don't know how well that's going to go through. But you know, the smaller places. I know Ventura is not as big as San Diego, but you think you know they're looking at well, this huge city got their flavor ban. You know, I think we need to move forward with ours. They're doing it, so why can't we do it?
Yep.
Uh,
Dominoes.
yep. I mean, it's starting to fall, so everybody's got to be ready. Uh, you know, pay attention is the biggest thing that I can tell everybody out there. Make sure that you know what's going on in your area. Your area comes first. You know, if you can get down the road 100 miles to help somebody, hey, I'm proud of you for doing it. But make sure that your area is covered. You know, that's kind of what Jay and I were doing when we were talking to Danielle today. We were wanting to know, you know, hey, we're in this area and there's nothing going on just yet. So we want to be prepared for when that's coming.
Yep.
And, you know, there's plenty of Facebook groups. You know, Logan exhales, preaches Twitter. Get on Twitter. You know, if you don't want to use your personal account, create a new Gmail and then use that for your Twitter. I mean, it's pretty simple. So, speaking of
Yeah.
that, there is a new email for me, and it is in the description down there. If anybody has any kind of advocacy question, even if it's a regular vaping question, please feel free to email. You know, if we get any emails with, you know, questions or even if there's a topic, you know, hey, I saw this. Did you guys see this that's going on? You know, don't ever hesitate to email. You know, I'll share those emails with Jay. And, you know, if we feel like we need to take it, we'll take it and run with it. So, you know, any kind of help that you need, advocacy, activism, uh, anything, please feel free to email me and we will address it and we will talk about it. Uh, you know, if you email and say, hey, you know, I found this, uh, can I come on the show with you and discuss it? We'll even talk about that. You know, if you want to come on with us and bring your subject, you know, that's a great thing. So we're
Oh, yeah.
always, you know, I'm always there for anybody that wants to come on and bring their own subject. That just makes research a lot easier for me.
Yeah. One thing that like Shane brought up earlier was whenever he was talking about the person in the article, he's like, oh, maybe we should look them up on Twitter. that's something that's real big because I know it's kind of like whenever I got back on Twitter, I'm like, man, I don't know who the hell to follow. I'm pretty much just going off of what Grim Green, Danielle, Logan, whoever they're tweeting at. I'm going to follow them to see whatever the crap they have to talk about vaping. Every time you read an article and there's a name in there, put that name in there. It doesn't matter if they're FDA. It doesn't matter if they're a mayor. It doesn't matter if
Mm-hmm.
they're a governor, the president of the FDA, whatever it is. Put their name in Twitter. I guarantee you they'll pop up. And half the time, it has their Twitter name on the actual thing because that's what everyone who is in all the political people, they're always on Twitter. And most times you'll see it, boom, there's their Twitter handle. All you
Yep.
gotta do is click on it. If you're on your computer just or on your phone, just click on it, go follow them, and then you can see whenever they post something. Okay, yeah, hey, oh, they're just talking about their kids. Oh, they're talking about this. They're talking about what happened this weekend. Oh, they're saying vaping is bad for you. Oh, let me go type back to this. And like we always say, make sure you are being responsible and you're being respectful.
Yep. Respectful is very, very big. So, please make sure that, you know, take your time, even if you have to do a couple of rough drafts of your notes, or if you want to make it sound more professional. Honestly, I could take something my English teacher from high school is still teaching at the same high school. And if I needed something, I know I could take it to him and let him read it. And he would say, okay, why don't you change the wording here to this and use this word instead of here? He would make all these changes to make it sound, I guess, more educated or more professional.
Spice it
Uh,
up a little
yeah,
bit.
I mean,
A
just
little more elegant.
yeah, and I mean, I know I could do that. So there you always have that friend that's better at English than you. Uh, you know, that's a huge thing that you can do. Is always keep your friends. Don't burn bridges is one big thing. Because you never know when you're going to need that person. And Poon Sauce is there in the chat. Howdy, Poon Sauce.
Hello,
So
Poon Pants.
glad you could get here there, Dunkle Croy.
Did you
So
see his the picture, the Grand Uncle Croy?
no, I hadn't seen him yet.
You've seen all the people doing the face thing, right?
Yeah, the age thing.
Yeah, they post. I can't remember which Discord they posted on, but it said Grand Uncle Croy, and it was him old.
Nice. I haven't even played with that app. I saw some pictures today. Uh, but well, it's 9 o'clock, so I guess we'll kind of shut it down. Just kind of keep this one at an hour for the first one. Uh, later on we may end up going longer. Who knows? But
All depends on what information is out there right
yeah,
now.
I'm glad that
A little bit going on or a lot going on. That's how the show's gonna go.
yeah, I'm glad that we found. I'm glad we found the two things that we covered today because they were huge. Especially with the petition. Please go sign the petition. The link is in the chat. If you have to, scroll back up. If you need the link, email me and I'll send it to you. Uh, and getting that information out there about the Ventura, California. And Jay mentioned it earlier about looking up that guy's name, but a lot of times I've found that if you look up like Mayor Ventura, California, it will
Or
pop up.
governor, senator.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done that a couple times where
yeah.
I can't find the person. Like I can't remember what it was. One of the last, not last week, but the week before. I was looking up someone. I couldn't find no one,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I put senator, and boom, I found it, just like it was nothing.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, there we go.
yeah. Because a lot of them will have that in the description. That'll have their Twitter handle, and then the description is Mayor Ventura, California. And
Yep.
so if you put that in there, a lot of times it'll pull up. That's the same thing if you put FDA commissioner. It'll pull up what's the guy's Sharpless.
Yeah.
But before, if you put FDA commissioner, it would have showed Gottlieb. So, but we discussed. I think it was just a couple of days ago what you got going on this week. But feel free to go over it again.
I had a video come out today. I'll have
Keen.
another one probably. Yep, I had the Keen review come out today. I'll have the Mike Vape's Rebirth RTA. I'll have that coming out. Let's say Tuesday. I'll probably have that one come out either tomorrow or Thursday, one of the two. And then I'll do another one on Friday. And then next week, I might be having a giveaway, so y'all stay tuned.
Ooh, nice.
But that's pretty much all I got. And then, of course, you can find us on the Weekend Wisdom on Saturday. And I'm working on getting someone on there with us. But
Awesome.
sometimes I like it just when it's me and you because we get to have a little bit more ranty.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully, whoever we get on there, feel free to rant. Whoever comes on there with us. If you feel passionate about a certain subject that we're talking about and you're on there with us, feel free to take the mic and we can do this right here. So, if I need to mute my mic and just let you go, hey, if you're that passionate about it, I will let you go. I'm going to try and record my FDA OSHA funding video either tonight or tomorrow. Got a lot of information on that. It's a little tricky, the way that the wording goes, and it's weird the way they have it set up. So, but I want to get that information out there to you guys, so you can kind of make the decision on how you think it is and how you think it should be. I know I pretty much have my mind made up the way it should be, but who knows? That's kind of all I've got going on, and then of course weekday wisdom or weekend wisdom on Saturday, and then we'll be back here next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm glad everybody came and hung out with us for a little while, and hopefully you learned something and you can take this information on with you and help save some lives. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Episode 1 in the books.
That's right, man. All right. Well, everybody have a good night and vape safely. Yeah.